All right, we're back. Second half action underway. They got Charlie Casserly in the booth. Always love to hear from good old Uncle Charlie. He's talking about this Redskins roster, and I was just listening to him chop it up a little bit. And he was talking about guys that he was impressed with in the first half. He talked about Phil Taylor, talked about Fabian Moreau, two guys that I was impressed with in the first half. Phil Taylor obviously getting the sack. Moreau, big on special teams, had a knockdown, and I thought he was in good position, even on the deep ball he gave up to Jeff Janis down the sidelines. He was in great position, didn't locate the football soon enough, but he was there. And so there was a play with him and Monte Nicholson, conversion on the football together, had a chance to make a play on the ball. Nicholson has looked good early too. So I've been impressed. You're going to see a lot of young guys in this second half, and you want to see what they are able to do. And Josh Hosey gets beat on the first play right out the gate. I just complimented Monte Nicholson. He goes flying by and helps Geronimo Allison pick up about 27 on the first play of the third quarter. So I start handing out compliments, and just like that, give me my damn compliment back, Monte Nicholson. And then Fabian Moreau gets juked out of his shoes as well. So, yeah, all the guys we giving compliments to come right out of the gate and have a bad play to start the second half. Those are going to happen, though. Josh Hosey, all the rookies got beat on that play. Hosey got beat on the route. Monte Nicholson, poor angle, misses the tackle, and then Moreau got shook. So, not a good play for all the rookies in the secondary on that one play. And I thank you guys for joining me again. If you joined me earlier, if you came back for the second half, I can understand if you don't come back for the second half because it's the second half of preseason game number 2. I get it. I totally get it. Wow, good play in the backfield. Hosey came on a run blitz, and he made a nice play there. They like this guy, Joey Mabu, and he just made a play as well. So those guys converge in the backfield to make a tackle for about a 4-yard loss in the backfield. So Josh Hosey comes back in there and makes amends for getting beat earlier on the play in the third quarter. Sets up a third and probably about 11, 3rd and 13. Redskins got an opportunity to get off the field here. Let's see what they do with it. Okay, so Redskins get a little pressure even though they only brought 3 on the play. They drop 8. But Brett Hundley able to escape the pocket, but it looks like it's coming back for a holding. Yeah, the Redskins got pressure with 3, man. That was impressive. And forced Brett Hundley to vacate the pocket. Lyndon Trail beat his man. Anthony Lanier beat his man, and so they were able to draw the holding penalty, and that's great. Takes that 3rd and 13, turns it into a 3rd and 23, and remember, Hundley escaped out of the pocket and threw for a first down on that play, so that negates the first down, puts them in a 3rd and forever. They shouldn't pick this up. We should see the second team offense hit the field now if we can get this stop. Here comes Chris Carter again. Chris Carter and Joey Mabu. So Chris Carter continuing to play well. Look, that's how you earn snaps with the first team. That's what we saw earlier in the game. Chris Carter, who I told you I thought played well last week, got some early reps this week because of what he did in mop-up duty last week. And these are the types of guys that are going to have an opportunity to make this roster. Trent Murphy no longer available this year. Someone's going to have to take that roster spot. Has an opportunity to be a guy like Chris Carter. These plays are going to matter. Lord have mercy. Now they got Kendall Fuller back there returning a punt. He was stumbling all over his damn feet. That wasn't pretty. They got to find somebody to go back there and do that other than Jamison Crowder. If Crowder can't do it, and they're not comfortable putting him back there, they gotta find somebody to do that, man. Will Blackman is not the man for the job, and Will Fuller that wasn't clean at all. And he had space. So, with that being said, Kirk Cousins' night is done, as we expected, and Colt McCoy is going to enter the game. Want to see what they do with him. He was sloppy last week. He didn't have a lot of time, but when he did have time, he wasn't that sharp either. So, looking for a bounce-back game from him. And some of these other guys and Josh Doxson needs to be in the game. I want to see Doxson in the second half. I want to see Niles Paul. I just saw him in the huddle. I want to see him get some opportunities to maybe get the football out of the backfield. I want to see Samaje Perine play better. There are things to look at in the second half of this game, believe it or not. I know it's not the most ideal watching the second half of the second preseason game, but there are some things to look at in this game just from a second half and second team and backup depth players' perspective and standpoint. Samaje Perine laid an egg last week. That was a dud of a performance. He needs to rebound this week. Colt McCoy did not play well. Neither did the second team offensive line. They need to rebound. They need to play better this week. So I want to see Doxson some more. I would be shocked if he wasn't out there for a couple of series to start the third quarter, just to get him out there and getting some reps, get him more acclimated to the speed of the game and the offense, because he needs the reps. He needs to work. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him if he gets some reps. You know, I want to see how some of these backup offensive linemen, because Ari Kwanjo is a guy. This is his third season in the league. Make a break for him. Is he going to make the roster or isn't he going to make the roster? They like some guys this year. And so there's some roster spots up for grabs along the offensive line. Vincent Painter is another guy looking to try to get a roster spot. You know you're only going to have 7 offensive linemen on game days. They're going to keep Chase Roulier, the guy that we drafted out of Wyoming at center, who can play all 3 interior offensive line positions, both guard and center. So really, it's going to be tough. You've got to have depth, and you've got to be very versatile and be able to play multiple positions along the offensive line if you're looking to stay on this roster. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Rob Kelly, I'm looking at him. He's got an ice pack on his shoulder. So, yeah, he definitely bruised his shoulder, without a doubt. We'll hear more about that after the game's over. But I think we came out pretty clean. I don't see many casualties from this game. I got to see how Momo ends up being. But he did come back into the game, so I feel good. I see Doxson at the top of the screen, which really warms my heart to see that. Samaje Perine hits the hole hard. I like that. Picks up about a good 4 on the play. So that's a good sign. And I'm going to tell you a guy that I was impressed with last week. Brian Quick at receiver. I was impressed with him last week. And so he's another guy that I want to see a lot from tonight. Time out on the field for an injured player. Okay, it's a Packer. It looks like Kyler Fackrell. It's kind of late in the game for him, isn't it? Might be another 58. I think that's 58. Anyway, I hope he's all right. But Samaje Perine looked so much better on that carry. He looked better on that one carry than he did at any point last week. And that's what I felt like last week was, okay, it was another 58. Trip. I'm about to say, this is too late in the game for Kyler Fackrell to be on the field. You know, with these 90-man rosters, you're going to have duplicates of numbers. Okay, so that makes sense. In any event, that was a good carry. 4-yard gain on first down. Doxson and Quick are in the game. I like those two at receiver. Niles Paul in at tight end. Another run for Samaje Perine. Runs through a tackle. See, this is the physical guy that we saw at Oklahoma. Gets hit, runs through 2 tackles, gets about 3 yards after contact. That was the guy that I saw at Oklahoma, churning out yards and running through arm tackles. Not the guy I saw last week that was tentative.
I was so impressed. He may not be a speed guy. He's got holes to run through. I was just, Joe, when I watched the tape, I thought the guy had more speed than his time. So, yeah, out there he does look faster. It's funny. Some guys look that way on a football field.
So 3rd and 2. Oh, Samaje just moved too. He got away with one. He just false started. Samaje out of the backfield. Throw it to him. Woo! Colt McCoy, you threw it behind him. Throw it in stride, man. Saw it right out of the backfield. I saw Samaje right out of the backfield. I said, you got him. And Colt threw it too short. He underthrew him, but he still caught it. But he made him have to turn and adjust to the football. If he throws that in stride, I don't know if he gets caught until the safety contacts him another 5 to 7 yards down the field. Colt's got to put that on him like Kirk did with Chris Thompson earlier in the game. That wasn't a great throw at all. Samaje's hands are better than I expected to. I didn't think he could catch as well as he could catch. He's touched the football every play of the second half for the Redskins. 3 carries and a catch. And he looks a lot more comfortable this week than he did last week. I'm impressed with him thus far. Redskins really like this Kalen. I don't know if you guys are aware, but this Kalen guy at guard, this Kalis guy, they really like him. He's actually over Ari Kwanjo on the depth chart. They really like this Kalis guy at guard, number 67. Got him! Matt Hazel, he went up top, did Colt McCoy, gave Matt Hazel a chance. I'm not a Matt Hazel guy, but he gave him a shot. That wasn't a bad throw at all. Samaje in pass protection, that wasn't all that great. I want to see Doxson get the ball. I'm not going to lie to you.
Legend has it that during his collegiate days, he once picked up a car to help a friend change a flat tire. He actually picked up the car.
All right, so 3rd and 7 now. Up top to Brian Quick, incomplete. Colt had a little bit of pressure. I don't know if that affected the throw or not, but he missed him a little outside. And so what started out as a promising drive bogs down. That wasn't the worst throw in the world. I would have liked to have seen Quick adjust to that a little bit better, but it wasn't the best throw either. So in any event, Redskins now have to punt Tressway onto the field. Would have loved to have seen them get something out of that possession. It started off so well. Stop the ball, stop the ball. It's going the wrong way. All right, so that's a good kick by Tressway. Nice backward spin on the football. A little bit of English so that it doesn't go into the end zone. Packers will start their next possession at the 9-yard line. But that's a good start to the second half for Samaje Perine. If you guys got comments, use the hashtag LouieTLive so I can get to some of your comments. We're in the second half now. I don't know if anybody's watching. There are some guys that are watching. All right. And you're not going to see, I'm going to tell you this right now, you're not going to see anybody of note defensively in the second half. No Ryan Anderson, no Jonathan Allen. Those guys aren't going to play in the second half. They're done for the night. So what you're basically going to see are a lot of the young guys fighting to try to make this roster. So we're going to see what happens. Paris Holland says, Quick over Grant already. Don't do Ryan Grant like that. First of all, you know this coaching staff, Jay Gruden in particular, loves Ryan Grant. He isn't going anywhere. That last receiver, now again, the question is 6 or 5 receivers. If they keep 6, then the rookie Robert Davis and Brian Quick make the roster. If they're keeping 5 receivers, then the question becomes Robert Davis, your rookie receiver out of Georgia State, or Georgia. I don't think it's Georgia State. Georgia State. It's Georgia State. Or is it Brian Quick, a guy that you went out and got in free agency? I would keep Brian Quick, to be honest with you. I think that Robert Davis would be fine passing through waivers and getting onto the practice squad. And I think you go with a veteran there. And if he can play on special teams, which they said Quick has been doing this year, then I don't see why he doesn't make this roster. Eagle Speed says, will the Eagles finally beat the Redskins in week 1? I don't know. I can't answer that. I can tell you this much. The one team in the division that doesn't scare me every year is the Philadelphia Eagles. But Carson Wentz is getting better, and it's a better Eagles roster. And they're going to beat us eventually. I don't know when that's going to be. I can't say. All right, so Moreau in coverage again. Step for step with the receiver right there. And so you got to love that. He's been getting some work tonight, and I think he's responded well. Blackbird Blitz says, what do you think about only having one cut during preseason? I love it. He says he likes it. I love it. It puts a lot less strain on the guys that are able to make it through to 75 at the end. Because if you remember that last preseason game where no starters play, you essentially got 22 guys playing the entire game, special teams included. That's a farce. And what it does is it also forces guys to have to practice more that you would love to not have to practice as you get to the end of the preseason. You know, you want some guys to be able to rest up, and you may not be able to conduct practice the way you want because the rosters have been trimmed. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore. So I like it. I like it a lot. So you got a third down situation now. The new quarterback in the game for the Packers has come in and 2 incompletions. Make sure you're using the hashtag LouieTLive if you leave me a comment. Lanier gets a little bit of pressure. So does Chris Carter, whose helmet came off, but he still makes the sack. Helmet comes off for Chris Carter, still gets into play. Yeah, we don't want the penalty. Referee Ron Torbert is laughing because guys out here hustling with no helmet on, man. Probably hands to the face. When you see a lid come off, usually a hands to the face penalty, illegal use of the hands. No helmet. Guy pulls his helmet off. They caught holding on the guy that was blocking him who pulled his helmet off. Still makes the sack. That's how you make the team, man. And I think Chris Carter's got a legitimate shot of doing exactly that. If he continues to play like he's played in the first 2 preseason games, he's got a legit shot, especially with Trent Murphy being out. There's a roster spot available for another pass rusher. That guy might be Chris Carter. All right, Fuller back here on punts. That's a good return. That was a solid return for Fuller. He looks a lot better than Will Blackman, I'll tell you that. So, let's get to some more of your comments. What up, Sean Matt? Eagle Speed says, will the Redskins miss Sean McVay? I don't think so. I think where his presence will be missed is the relationship that he had with Kirk Cousins. With Sean McVay in the booth, being able to talk to Kirk Cousins in his helmet up until the 15-second mark of the play clock, you're going to miss that relationship between he and Kirk. Kirk, hey, look, they're giving us cover 3 here. You're getting quarters coverage. You're going to be able to work the right side of the field. Deshaun Jackson's going to be wide open on the stop underneath. You know, those kind of things that you have, you're going to miss that relationship. Kirk, something goes wrong on the field. Kirk comes over. Him and Sean McVay talk with each other. They were on the same page. They thought alike. That's where you're going to miss Sean McVay. But from a play calling standpoint, from this offense moving along, I don't think we're going to miss Sean McVay that much because Jay Gruden, remember, was an impressive offensive coordinator in Cincinnati. That's how he got the job with the Redskins, is because of how good he was as a offensive coordinator. So I would expect him to call plays and be effective and efficient at it. And I don't see us missing McVay in that respect. But I digress. Anal Pro 9000 says, what up, Luke? Good to see you back talking Skins Live. A little late to the party, my bad. It's all good, man. To recap, Packers move it down the field with Aaron Rodgers on the first possession of the game. After 12 men on the field penalty extended the drive, Aaron Rodgers got hot, moved it down the field, threw a touchdown pass to Martellus Bennett in the end zone on a fade route, man-to-man coverage for Zach Brown. Zach Brown never turned and located the football. easy pickings for Martell Bennett. Touchdown, 7-0. We never saw Rodgers again, and thus the first team defense never got another chance and crack at Aaron Rodgers. Redskins offense had an opportunity, a golden opportunity to score after punting on their first possession, 3 and out. The special teams comes up with the play, forces a fumble. Fabian Moreau, our rookie out of UCLA, having a dynamic night, forces a fumble. Redskins recover at the Packers 16-yard line, don't gain another yard, forced to kick a field goal that Dustin Hopkins bangs home. As we go back to live action, Colt McCoy going up top to Josh Doxson. Okay, way to break it up, Doxson. Way to break it up. That was a good job by the cornerback of pinning him against the sidelines. If Doxson would have had better position, he might have been able to go up and get that. But he made a hell of a play on the football. This is what Robert Davis didn't do last week. He went up and fought for that. Robert Davis didn't fight for it last week, and it was an interception versus Baltimore. That's what you have to do as a receiver. That's what you must do. You must fight for the football, even if you can't catch it. That was a great play by Doxson to just break that up and give them another opportunity at it. Let's see what we do on second down. I expect this to be a run play. And it is. It's a draw to, oh my gosh, good run. Nice little stutter step by Samaje Perine. Made a defender miss in the hole and picked up an additional 5 yards. So a good run of 8 on second and 10 puts us in a situation. Way to make that guy miss. Nice little jump cut there. Gets north and south and picks up an additional 5 yards to make it 3rd and 2. So that's a good run on second and 10. So Redskins 3rd and 2 now. They run it again, and he got space. Good broken tackle by Perine. Perine's running the rock tonight, fellas. Ladies and gents, Samaje Perine's come to play. And that's what we needed to see from him tonight. And he's running the ball tonight. And all that was simple outside zone, and he ran it beautifully, something that I didn't think Rob Kelly did earlier tonight. Even though there was no lane like that earlier, I thought there was a block on a counter run on a 4th down play that I thought Kelly cut it inside. He should have ran off the block of Niles Paul. And he broke a tackle again. Did Samaje Perine, gets to the outside, gets north and south, lowers his shoulder, picks up additional 2 yards. 14-yard run there, man. He's having a stellar night. 5 carries, 33 yards for Samaje Perine thus far. Nowhere to go on this run as he gets bottled up for about a 1-yard loss. But he's having a good night. Redskins in field goal range. We'll see if they can cap this drive off with a touchdown. Braden Canfield says, how do you feel about this game and who do you think will win? Really, the score and who wins this game is insignificant. You don't want any injuries from this point forward. Oh, a Mack Brown sighting. How about that? Mack Brown getting some third quarter love. I love that. Let's see what happens. Matt Hazel with a receiver screen. Robert Davis didn't block well on that play. Not much gain there. Probably about a gain of 3, maybe 4 at max. But back to Braden's comment. You're not looking for a necessarily. You'd love the Redskins to win, but I think the winner of this game is of no consequence. You're looking for execution by guys. You're looking for players to flash at this point. Young guys getting the opportunity to play. Samaje Perine has already flashed in my eyes. Mack Brown getting an opportunity. I want to see what he's going to do with that. You're just looking for guys coming out and trying to make plays. I don't know if Doxson's going to play anymore the rest of the game. There's another Packer down. But I don't know if Doxson's going to play, but you would love to see Doxson get an opportunity down here in the red zone to maybe make a play on the football. You would like to see a guy that we got in free agency get an opportunity to make a play. These are bigger receivers that can high point the football. You want to see these guys get an opportunity to go make plays. I don't expect Matt Hazel to make the roster, so I could really care less if he's making plays or not. Doxson is not in the game. So now I'm looking to see if we can't get the ex-Ram receiver in the football. Colt goes up the top to Niles Paul. Touchdown. I love Niles Paul. I'm happy for Niles Paul. I told you I wanted to see if Niles Paul could get involved in the action. That's a hell of a catch. Back shoulder throw by Colt McCoy. Great adjustment to the football by Niles Paul. Touchdown on a tightly contested throw. Niles Paul comes down with it. You know he's making the roster. I love Niles Paul. He's just got to stay healthy. Great back shoulder throw by Colt McCoy. Great adjustment by Niles Paul. You can't do it much better than that, folks. That is outstanding execution there. And it's a bounce back game for Colt McCoy as well, man. Love Niles Paul. Happy for him. Pending the extra point, Redskins will take a 3-point lead here. Dustin Hopkins hasn't missed all postseason. Let's see if he can continue that. We need him to have a bounce back year. I love Dustin Hopkins, by the way. I know a lot of people are down on him because he missed 8 kicks last year. How many kickers in the league had 42 field goal attempts? Go look that up. I challenge you to find a kicker that had more field goal attempts than Dustin Hopkins a season ago. He kicked way too many damn field goals. That's the offense's fault. He's still supposed to make them, though. Not making any excuses for him. And he bangs it home. Redskins now up 17-14 after the beautiful connection from Colt McCoy to Niles Paul, who I'm really excited for because I love Niles Paul. That's a hell of a catch, too. Away from the body, extending the outside of the frame and reeling it in. It's a great throw, man. That is an outstanding catch by Niles Paul. Let's move on to some more comments. Evan Higgins says, Cousins and Pryor should practice passes 24/7 to get a rhythm. They just got to continue to try to get some rhythm. Next week is going to be big for them. That's, of course, the dress rehearsal. They still seem to be a little off. Kirk missed him high in this game. Did hit him another time across the middle of the field, but Kirk continues to miss Terrell Pryor high. So, yeah, the rhythm isn't there. The continuity isn't quite where we would like it to be yet, but that's to be expected. I don't expect that type of continuity that we saw from him and Garcon and Jackson to be developed until, 6 weeks into the season potentially. So we'll see what happens. Matthew Lynch says, offense is nor in a good rhythm, especially in the run game, but I like what I see defensively so far. Hard for me to love what I've seen defensively just because, I like the fact that we're flying around defensively. I do like that. But we were flying around last preseason defensively. I remember feeling like we were going to be a lot better defensively last year because we were flying around defensively. So I don't know if us flying around means anything, but I like to see it. I obviously love to see guys rallying to the football, but we still gave it up to Aaron Rodgers. He took it right down the field. I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but they took it right down the field on us. So that's a little disheartening. I love the fact that when the second team Packers offense came in, they dominated like they were supposed to. So it's a mixed bag for the defense. But I like the individual pieces that we have. I will say that. I do know I like that so far. Eagle Speed says, would you have chose in the second round rather Ryan Anderson? I knew you liked Basham and Kamara. I would have taken either one of those two guys, Terrell Basham or Alvin Kamara, over Ryan Anderson in the second round. But I'm going to tell you what, Anderson has been a physical force defensively thus far, which is what I knew he was. He put it this way, he hasn't done anything that I didn't expect from him. I know he's a tough, rough, rugged guy, going to be physical in the run game, set a hell of a physical edge in the run game, going to be destructive in the run game. But can he get to the quarterback? That was always my issue with him, and he hasn't changed my mind on that at all. But he's going to be an impactful defender in the run game, which we struggled in the run game last year, so we can use it. But yes, I would have preferred to have Terrell Basham. I also loved Kamara as well, as you know, and I would have taken either one of those guys. Sean Mack says, okay, he's helping you guys out. So don't forget to, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louie T Network. Like the video, share it, and use the hashtag Louie T Live. if you have a comment that you want read on the air.
Playing ball like I knew I could. This year, I feel like I'm in a position to
Des got game 421 says, does Sean Laval start all 16 games this season? It's a good question because it seems like the run game performs better when he's in there, and when he comes out, we start to struggle in the run game side of things. So I don't know. He hasn't been able to stay healthy the last 2 years with us. That's always been a point of emphasis, is to stay healthy along the offensive line. The best offensive lines around the league are offensive lines that have continuity, that are able to play together as much as possible. And when you take a guy on the interior out and insert another player, it does mess with a little bit of the chemistry up front. So I hope he can play all 16. Fumble! All right. So Halsey had a nice blitz there. And this Robertson guy gets in there, gets a sack, forced a fumble. But I was impressed with Halsey coming off the edge with a nice little blitz there and getting in there and helping out.
Redskins' fourth sack tonight. Showed some terrific athleticism. Third down and 18.
So 3rd and 18.
One of my favorite down distances.
All right, he dumps it down. Redskins rally to the football. Nick Vigil with a nice tackle out in open space. Gonna or Zach Vigil, excuse me. I think his brother is Nick.
Thanks, guys. We finally settled out a difference down here on the field since Ohio State cheated Miami. But I'm standing here with our biggest off-season acquisition, wide receiver Terrell Pryor.
So they're doing an interview with Terrell Pryor right now. TP.
It's been good. It's been a great process. Right now,
See what happens.
we're starting slow.
See what we get now offensively. I want to see this punt return. I was impressed with Fuller's last punt return. And as I shower him with praise, he drops the football and really botches this one. So we're still searching for guys that can back up punt returner. We're struggling right now. Protect 428 says, we're having a bounce back game, bro. Love that JC Ice scored. That's my boy. It was it's quality game. Still some questions with the first team guys. Obviously, the first team offense didn't look like anything when the Packers had their guys out there. And even when their second team defense was in there, we still struggled to get into the end zone. But we ultimately did, and that's the most important thing, along with health. So this feels a lot better than last week, obviously. You score 17, and the second team offense looks better. The second team defense looks better. It's good to see the young boys out there too. So that's definitely a good thing.
Speaking of being humble, you took a one-year deal to come here. You get an opportunity to put everything on your shoulders and prove to the world.
Sean Mack says, Sean Laval never started a full season when he played for my Browns either. LOL. So, I mean, his track record speaks for itself. This isn't a guy that you can count on for 16 games. In 2 years with the Redskins, I don't think he's played more than 8 games in either season. Last year, I know he went out in like the 3rd game of the season versus the Giants. So, bootleg for Colt McCoy on first down. Throws it to Matt Hazel, who picks up about 6 yards on the play to get the drive started. So it's a nice start on first down. Protect 428 says, I think the defense will play better. I love Ryan Anderson, though. Like you said, he sets an edge in the run game, something we need badly, Brody. I agree. He sets a physical edge. We need pass rush. I think Junior Gillette next week, I'm excited. Birdman hand rub. I'm excited to see Junior Gillette next week. He just got to stay healthy throughout the course of practice this week. If there's no setback, he will play for the first time in a Redskins uniform. Nice run by Samaje Perine on the inside handoff out of shotgun, which he's very comfortable with out of shotgun. Remember, they ran the pistol quite a bit at Oklahoma, and he made a nice, decisive cut. Great hole opened up in the inside of that offensive line. He picks up about a good 8 there He's having a good night. 7 rushes, about 42 yards or so. You're looking at about 6 a pop right now for Samaje Perine. He's having an outstanding night. Another carry for Samaje. Good cut. Physical run. Ooh, rolled up on the ankle of Chase Roulier. Get up. And he gets up. Good. Samaje with another solid carry for 4. And that was another decisive run. Like I said, he lacked that decisiveness last week. And he's using that decisiveness to help him pick up yards this week. So that's really refreshing to see, man. A nice bounce back week for Samaje. I could easily see him starting when it's all said and done. After the coaches take a look at this film, Rob Kelly having that bruised shoulder coming out of this game, if he's missing any reps this week when they start preparing for the Week 3 preseason game. All right, Robert Davis, the rookie out of Georgia State, with a catch. His first catch of the night for a first down. I could easily see Samaje getting some first-team reps next week with the starters, with the ones. He's looking decisive, and he's looking like a guy that needs more touches with the first team. And this is what this second half mop-up duty is about. If you're a guy that knows you're going to make the roster, you know you're going to make the roster if you're healthy. So what you're looking to do now is to move up on the depth chart. You're looking to get first-team reps next week. And a guy like Samaje Perine, I think, has worked his way into the first-team reps. Matt Hazel with a catch, or excuse me, Robert Davis with a catch on a hitch, but goes nowhere, picks up a yard or 2.
Sean Jackson had 25 targets in his career here with the Redskins. He got 4 touchdowns
All right.
in the red zone.
See what we got now. Protect428 says, our depth looks hella better than last week. They are actually playing with some intensity and effort. I just think last week was the first preseason game, and nobody really wanted to. It seemed like those guys didn't want to play last week. You know, it's a lot different when you're at home. Second preseason game. You're getting closer to, for a lot of these guys, first game of the season, first NFL game, a lot of first game jitters. I think a lot of these guys are a lot more comfortable this week, you know, and you can't discount that. You're nervous when you're doing something of this magnitude for the first time. You're nervous. And I saw a lot of nervous Redskins out there last week. And then also, a lot of guys didn't play last week. Remember, no Jamison Crowder, no Josh Doxson, no Preston Smith, no Fabian Moreau, no Monte Nicholson. A lot of guys didn't play last week. And so that really affects your depth as well. Because I was feeling some type of way about the depth last week. A drop by Pascal, a guy that's trying to make the roster out of ODU. And you know I'm rooting for him. He's an Old Dominion Monarch. He's not going to make the team. I already can tell you that. But he's not making it on anybody else's roster with drops like that. So it's a little disappointing. But that's the end of the third quarter, man. A fast third quarter. When you run the ball as effectively as we did, you're going to eat up a lot of the clock. So that was a good third quarter. Eagle Speed says, do you think putting Trip Williams at left guard and putting Ty Nsekhe at left tackle would be a better O-line than now? It probably would be, but what you're asking us to do is take a top 2 or 3 left tackle in the league and now make him a guard. And you're asking us to put a top 20 left tackle in his spot. Yeah, it would probably make an overall better line, but there's nothing more reassuring than protecting your quarterback's blind side. And Trent Williams is one of the best in the business. While you would love him at guard and have that athleticism pulling like we did in the Giants game last year to finish up that game, and I think that's part of the reason we ran it so effectively late in that game. You can't take the best left tackle or one of the best left tackles in the game and move him to left guard. You're paying him left tackle money because he's one of the best in the game at the left tackle position. I think it's a pipe dream, frankly. You won't see that. The only reason they did that in that Giants game was because of the injuries. Remember, Sean Laval went down, and then we had another injury that forced Trent Williams to have to kick inside, and Ty Nsekhe can't play guard. So the best thing that they could think of is to move Trent Williams inside and let Nsekhe play the only position he's capable of playing, and that's tackle. So, yeah, I think it would make the line better overall, but I couldn't see the Redskins doing it, and I wouldn't want them to do that, honestly speaking. Des got game 421 says, what do you think about Fabian Moreau at punt returner and kick returner for us? I don't necessarily know if I want him back there. I don't know if he's a natural at that. You want guys that are comfortable. Maybe they've tried him at camp, and maybe they didn't like what they saw. Maybe they did like what they saw, but you don't want to overload the rookie. You got him on special teams as a gunner. You got him out there playing the quarterback position. I'm open for anybody, to be honest with you, though. I'm open for anybody to get an opportunity just because we don't have a backup return man right now. So I wouldn't have a problem if they threw him out there. Why not? Protect 428 says, I really need to see Junior badly. Hopefully he's 75% of what he was in New Orleans. That'll be huge. He keeps saying that he's better than he was in New Orleans. I find that hard to believe, much like you do. However, I just want him on the field, goddammit. I don't know what percentage he's going to be. I don't know how well he's going to play, how much he'll be able to help. But the first ability is availability. I don't know what ability he's going to have, but we just want availability at this point. We just need him on the field. So I'm looking forward to him just being on the field next week. And yes, that would be huge. Protect 428 says, my man just said, call Brandon Banks for backup punt returner. Laughing my ass off. Oh man, it would be nice, but there's no roster spot on available for Brandon Banks, man. As much as I would love to see Brandon Banks back out here in a Skins jersey, that was fun every time he called a punt. You never knew what was going to happen. Nico Marley out there flying around again. So use the hashtag Louie T Live if you want your comment read. But somebody asked me about the Packers players. So I'll read your comment, but normally I don't read your comment unless you have the hashtag Louie T Live. Make sure you use the hashtag. Some of you guys are new to these types of streams that I do, so make sure you use the hashtag Louie T Live. But yeah, there were some Packers players that showed up in this game that flashed, that really played well. Obviously, you signed Martellus Bennett to a 3-year deal in the offseason. He looked good on that touchdown grab. I thought a lot of your young players on the defensive side of the football made some plays. You had a nice knockaway by, I can't remember the name of the cornerback, but it wasn't a name that I'm really familiar with. It wasn't like a Gunter or one of those guys or a Quentin Rollins, but it was another guy. And it was a great knockaway on the second possession of the game that broke up a touchdown pass. I thought that the linebackers played really well, especially your young guy from Stanford that you drafted last year. Thought he was running around, very active. Martinez, excuse me. Also thought that another one of your young linebackers, Kyler Fackrell, was making some good plays. So I thought Clinton Dix almost had a pick. The first team defense looked impressive, to say the least. Offensively, the Packers did what they do. And so, yeah, there were some guys that stood out for the Packers this year, or in this particular game, early on.
Second down and 8. This is Phillips once again.
So now you're getting to the Nico Marleys, Joey and Boos of the world that are fighting for a roster spot. I doubt that either one of those guys make it, but they're fighting. They're out here fighting.
Somebody gets in on the play. Zach Mitchell has sort of shown up here in this quarter as well. Number 59. There's Wally. Third down at 6 for Taysom Hill and the Packers. Bring a little pressure. Bring a lot of pressure.
Woo! Oh Almost picked off. Who was that? Kevin Homer. I have no idea who he is, but young fella broke on a pass. That was pretty. One thing I can say about our defensive coordinator, even with the third stringers in there, the one thing that you can see is that he's going to be aggressive. And I love it. Want more of it. I can see right now Greg Minuski is going to be aggressive. And that's a stark contrast to what we saw last year with our defense. If we're going to get beat on defense, I'd much rather have us get beat with no guns left in the bullet, no bullets left in the gun. Last year, I thought there were too many times where we went down, i.e. the Detroit game late, where you went down and there were bullets left in the gun. And I know there were plays to be made. Ryan Kerrigan had a point-blank opportunity at the sack, and he didn't make it. But I just want to see us be a little bit more aggressive, and I think you're going to see that. No problem, Stacey Starr. I thought the Packers' first-team defensive unit looked good. Like I said, Blake Martinez looked good. Kyler Fackrell looked good. I thought that they did a really good job up front. That front seven looks legit. And they were stout. They stopped our run game cold in its tracks. Clay Matthews got some pressure on our backup tackle. Flushed Kirk out of the pocket. You had a nice knockaway. Like I said, I don't remember the name of the defender for the Packers in the secondary, but it was a damn good play. Knocked it away, so, yeah.
You get hurt at work. What do? You call your boss and he says that he'll turn it over to the insurance company and they'll take care of everything.
So,
are they going to pay your wages, pay your medical expenses?
We'll see what happens.
Wondering how your bills are getting paid. Do you think the insurance company is losing?
We're going to see.
A workers' compensation.
Because you're at the point now where in the fourth quarter, third string guys in the game, you got 3, maybe 4 guys max at this point of the game that have a legitimate shot at making the roster. And so I think Joey Mbu is one. I think Nico Marley is fighting. He's got a shot. Robert Davis on the offensive side of football. Tyler Catalina, the Kalis guy. Both of those guards. Tyler Catalina, who was with the team last year, who they like a lot, and Kalis. Both have legitimate shots at cracking his roster. If they don't, they got legitimate shots at making the practice squad. So I'm telling you right now, there's some guys that are fighting. If not for a roster spot, for a practice squad opportunity and for an opportunity with the team around the league. So there's some guys out here still competing hard because there's a lot at stake. We get our first look at Nate Sudfeld for the night. And it looks like Matt Jones is in the game. I'm still disappointed Matt Brown isn't getting enough touches, man. I don't think Matt Brown got a single carry tonight. He was in the game a couple of times. Ty and Secchi, I think if that's big Ty and Secchi there, he's still in the game. You know he's going to make this roster. So Jeremy Sprinkle is out there, our 5th or 6th round pick out of Arkansas. Vincent Painter is out there. He's looking to try to get a roster spot. So there's some guys out there still competing.
Big thing with him is getting the ball out of his hands a bit quicker than he has. Last year was processing the information, thinking a bit. In his second year now, seems to be reacting a bit more. Something he still needs to work on.
So I think what we're going to get a steady diet of in this fourth quarter is the run game. Because at this point now, both teams just want to get the hell out of here. I think both teams, the Packers have had more injuries, but none of them seem to be of significant note. And because of that, I think both teams are just looking to get the hell out of Dodge now. You've pretty much come out of here clean, which is what the overall objective is, first and foremost. So now you're at the point where you just want to get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I mean? And stay healthy. And so I think that's what the Redskins are looking to do at this point. So both teams, for that matter. So I think you see a lot of runs. Good move by Nate Sudfeld. He's going to be short on the first down, but way to scramble, create. avoid in the pocket, pick up some yards, something that Kirk Cousins struggles with. They're going to call holding on one of our offensive linemen. Packers are going to decline it because we're short of the first down, and Redskins are going to have to punt. B3 says, please let people in the 757 know where to watch the game going forward. Blacked out on even on Game Pass right now. So you got to watch the game on CSN Washington, which I got Cox Cable. So that's channel 35, 1035 on HD. I don't know if it's also being shown on channel 3, CBS. It may be on channel 10, NBC. Normally it's either CBS or CSN Washington. I just watch it on CSN Washington. So if you're in the 757, you're looking at whatever CSN Washington is for you, and you should know if you're in this area what CSN Washington is for you. Find it. That's where the game is. Protect428 says, bro, I'm going to do a game analysis and put it on your YouTube and link it on my blog, fam. Check it out. It'll be up there tomorrow. All right, that's what's up. Protect says, F Matt Jones. Where's Mac Brown? The Skins are doing my boy wrong. I just feel like they just need to cut Mac Brown loose, man. They've been doing this man an injustice. And unlike past years where at least he was getting touches and we were all singing the praises of Matt Brown, he's not even getting a rock this year. And so I really think they're stunting his growth. Even if he's not going to make our roster for the third straight year, I'd at least like to see the man get a chance somewhere else. I think they're doing him dirt McGirt. I really do. I really don't appreciate it either, but it is what it is at this point. And I don't think Matt Jones is going to make the roster, but whatever. Now, what can you do, right? Blackbird Blitz says, getting Cox Cable in October/September. Thanks for all you do. Hey, man, Cox been holding me down of late. They pissed me off last year because I was having some shoddy connections. But they've been spot on of late, man. They came out, fixed me up, and I've been straight ever since. So Cox been doing me a great service of late. I don't have DirecTV, but my dad and my mom and dad do. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, CSN Washington is 642 on DirecTV. If it's not 642, it's in that vicinity. 641, 639, somewhere in there. I put you in the general vicinity. You're welcome. All right, so it's raining now. And defensively, I don't think you're going to find one player on the field at this point of the game that's going to be someone that's going to make this roster. One Redskin is down, number 25. I can tell you right now, he did not get up after the play. He put a shot on the receiver, but I think he hurt himself too.
Should we be worried? You all got off to a slow start this preseason. Baltimore, you didn't move the ball well. Today, you didn't move the ball well. All of a sudden, you picked it up right before halftime.
I think it's part of the preseason.
They're talking to Kirk right now. If you're not watching the game,
no turnovers, no sacks.
Today's Kirk's birthday,
A couple plays here and there.
and number 25 is walking off the field. And Clinton Portis just asked Kirk Cousins, should we be concerned about the preseason and the way the offense has looked. Kirk basically said it's preseason, man.
It's been good. We need to get Jordan Reed and Jameson Crowder going again. Josh Doxson, those three.
And that's another guy that didn't play in Jordan Reed. Obviously, I told you I don't expect Jordan Reed back to the first game of the season. But, of course, that's going to dynamically change the offense, obviously.
Filled that gap as well as it possibly could.
So you lose a lot of guys. You lose Coach McVay. You lose a lot of guys. You lose your receivers. How has the adjustment been for you this offseason?
Yeah, there is a lot of turnover.
Sean Mack asked me, is my sister over that Super Bowl loss?
It's constantly as a result, those of us that are
And he asked how my old man was doing, how my dad was doing. They're doing well. Sister, no, she's not over the Super Bowl loss. I'm not gonna lie to you. That Super Bowl loss is still a sore subject for her. She wants to go to a Falcons game this year live. You know, the new stadium and everything, but she's still not 100% over it. So she's dealing with it, man. I think she won't get over it until the Falcons start playing meaningful games again. So we'll see what happens there. Paris Holland says, grade for Cousins for tonight's performance. I would give Kirk Cousins a B- C+ in this game. He wasn't 100% sharp. I thought he missed some opportunities. I go back to the opportunity to hit Rob Kelly in the flats. Again, it would have been a minuscule gain, but a gain nonetheless that changes play calling. I thought he did a phenomenal job of escaping pressure, buying time, and doing something that he doesn't do well, extending the play, but then he didn't do anything with it. He skipped the pass, and he had enough space and opportunity to get it to him. I think he just panicked. So you missed an opportunity there to pick up 4, maybe even 5 yards on first down, which would have changed play calling drastically in a situation where we ended up having to kick a field goal. He missed the open pass to Jamison Crowder on the kind of a corner route, maybe an over route, maybe a deep out. In any event, Crowder open, wide open in a crowd of Packers, and he just flat out missed him. That's one you can't have. Got to have that one. But then for every miss, there were some dime throws tonight. The ones that come to mind, you got the throw to Chris Thompson down the sideline in a desperately needed third down situation. That was a hell of a throw. So was the Vernon Davis dime down the sideline that set up that touchdown to end the first half. And then you get the good read on 4th and goal from the 5 to Jamison Crowder, in which he throws a dart to him and scores the touchdown. So I thought it was a good night for Kirk. It wasn't a great night. He struggled against the first team defense of the Packers, picked it up as the second half wore on, and so B- C+.
I think the interceptions have to go into single digits, and I'd like to see the touchdown passes go up over 30. Aaron Rodgers,
Sean Mack says, could be worse, could be a Browns fan like me.
I think he can read
Correct.
which flows into what our
Stacy Starr says, you never get over a loss like that. Those are tough to rebound from, when you're that close. And they had it. I mean, it's one thing to lose a close game. It's another one to be up 25 in the third quarter. You saw the video of my sister last year and how elated she was in the first half of that game. Taysom Hill doing what he did at BYU. Packers take the lead. Taysom Hill was a hell of a runner when he wasn't injured at BYU. And he tucked it and ran and got it done. Got in the end zone, and Packers take a 20-17 lead pending the extra point. You'd love to try to get the W here. We're going to see if Jay Gruden now goes away from the run as much and tries to throw it with Nate Sudfeld and see if they try to go back and get this lead. Bad tackling by the third unit. It's a great job by Taysom Hill, though, of making guys miss and getting into the end zone.
preseason game for somebody, but it's a life experience for other guys.
Absolutely. One play in a preseason game can make or break your career.
You can talk about it. You're a Green Bay Packer. You scored a touchdown against the Redskins. You don't have to say it was a preseason game. You can just say you did it.
So the Packers tack on the extra point. It is now 21-17 with 6 minutes and 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Taysom Hill with a couple of impressive runs on that drive, a 4th and 1 conversion And then about a 25-yard scamper for a touchdown gives the Packers the lead with 6 minutes and 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Biggest takeaway from this game, Redskins come out relatively healthy. I would love to confirm that. Make sure that after the game I don't find out somebody left the game with an injury that we didn't see. But we leave the game pretty much intact. And I thought Fabian Moreau really looked good in his first NFL action. That was refreshing to see. Always want to see the young fellas do well. Monte Nicholson flashed, even though he had a missed tackle to start the third quarter. Gotta love the young fellas, man. Jonathan Lynch says, what are your thoughts on the Redskins versus Giants game on Thanksgiving? First of all, I hate when the Redskins play on Thanksgiving because every Redskins game, I'm a nervous wreck. That's number one. Number two, I just like to enjoy Thanksgiving. Why you doing this to me, man? Now you're going to make me nervous on Thanksgiving. I can't even enjoy my food. Let my stomach just be plump and overstuffed and just enjoy being gluttonous for a day. I got to eat with the mindset of, hey, man, it's a big game later on tonight. Make sure you're right. So I'm not thrilled, but I love the fact that the Redskins are getting a home playoff game on Thursday, on a Thanksgiving night. So while I hate the fact that we're playing, I'm also loving the fact that we're on primetime, which we struggle, we know, especially against the Giants, but that we are going to be out of the way. And it's always good to get games out of the way early, too. Thursday, get it out the way. You don't have to worry about them playing on Sunday. So that's a good thing, too, I guess. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, at that point of the season, the Redskins are still relevant. That's the big thing there.
Late fourth quarter from FedEx Field. Joe, look at some more tweets.
Yeah. Chris Carter has played well. Niles Ball doing what he does. I mean, such a valuable part of the special.
Amic89 says, how did Jonathan Allen play? He was solid. He had a great play. They threw a screen to the Packers with the second team offense. They threw a screen. Great job by DeShazer Everett, I believe it was, who came up and he didn't make the tackle, but he flashed and he made the running back have to slow down and cut inside. And Jonathan Allen came all the way from the backside of the play and cleaned it up. It was a beautiful play. Really beautiful play. So Jonathan Allen looked good tonight.
You're going into the game now. Most of the people have gone away, but it doesn't matter. The film is still.
Sean Mack says, are you glad that TP's agent Drew Rosenhaus was stupid and overpriced his players market and he ended up being on your skins? He wanted $14 million a season. Yeah, I'm glad he did, but it was also a situation where he knows that if he has another big season, he's going to get paid next year. And I'm not mad at him for doing what he did. And with the Browns not having a good quarterback situation, you definitely want to go somewhere where you know you can shine. And he comes to Washington with Kirk Cousins, who almost threw for 5,000 yards last year. You think you're going to have another opportunity to get 1,000 yards. And so I think he feels good about the decision that he made. But I can tell you right now, Jay Gruden's going to try to go for the win. First down, he comes out throwing with Nate Sudfeld, which tells me he's going back to try to get this lead. So we're going to see what Nate Sudfeld is all about. Completes his first pass for 5 yards to John Pascal to start the drive off. Speaking of Pascal, for all you boxing fans out there, Sudfeld up top. Robert Davis, again, not jumping. He did break it up this week. But again, not jumping for the football, almost caused another interception. That young fella's got to learn that he's got to go up and contest that. But anyway, boxing on tonight. One of the best boxers in the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, fighting tonight. So after the Redskins game go off, turn immediately to ESPN. You're probably going to get the undercard, and you'll probably show up in time enough to catch Bud Crawford fighting tonight. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm not going to lie to you. You know I'm a big boxing fan. If you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know I'm a big boxing fan, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh. James Quick gets laid out, and the Redskins go 3 and out. See if the defense can force a stop and get the ball back to the offense and give them a shot. Amick89 says, do you think Phil Taylor can start? I think Phil Taylor will start. I really do. I thought he looked good again tonight. Phil Taylor had a sack tonight. Again, against the second team of the Green Bay Packers, doesn't matter. The center turned him loose, basically, and he did a great job of coming in under control, wrapping the quarterback up on a 3rd down and getting a sack. So, thought Phil Taylor flashed again tonight. My man Sean Mack says, Crawford moving up in weight after this fight, bro. I want him to. He's a junior welterweight right now. I want to see him move up. If he wins tonight, and he's fighting an undefeated fighter tonight. And so, all 4 of the titles in the in that welterweight division, basically on the line. He's got his 2, and I forget the name of the dude he's fighting tonight. But he's fought in some guys' backyards. He's went over to England and beat a fighter, went somewhere else and beat another guy, won some belts. So I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be an interesting fight. I expect Crawford to take care of business, clean up all those belts, and then take his talents to the next weight division up, man. Where I think all the action is. Honestly, that welterweight division is where a lot of the heat is. Let's see it. SOL's Nation says Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. For me, I think Anthony Joshua is a better fighter. Honestly, he's been tested more. I thought the Klitschko Joshua fight was the fight of the year last year. It was an outstanding fight, and what that fight showed me, not to turn this into a boxing program because it's still Redskins football going on, was he took a shot. Klitschko hurt him, and a normal guy wouldn't have got up from that shot. And so he goes down, he gets up, he shows resiliency, which you have to do in boxing. And he won the fight, knocked Klitschko out. And I love it. I don't think Wilder's been tested like that in his career. I don't know if his chin is that strong. And I think he's a little wild. He's a little wild. His punches are wide. Takes a lot of wild and elongated swings. That if a guy like Anthony Joshua, who's very technically sound, gets to coming straight down the pipe on one of those wide punches and counters him, I think he can put him to sleep. So that's a fight that could happen down the road. But Wilder's got to get healthy. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, Sean Mack says, you're going to buy the McGregor? Hell no, I'm not buying that fight. I'm going to watch it, though. But I'm not paying a hundo for that. You crazy? No way. But I will be watching it, though. I already know how the fight's going to go. McGregor's going to come out aggressive in the first 3-4 rounds, run out of gas. Floyd's going to box him, make it boring, and win the fight. But anyway, Amick89. See how this play goes first. Amick89 says, the Redskin knows how to piss fans off even when it don't matter. Our offense look bad. And where's Terrell, LOL? He be taking a lot of shit, talking a lot of shit in the media. Bottom line is, it's preseason. And like you said, the games don't count. And it was a little disappointing early on in the game. I think that the drive that they got, even though it was against the second team defense of the Packers, late in the first half, I think that's going to spark them. They're going to play a lot better next week versus Cincinnati. That's another tough defense, and it's another good challenge for the Redskins. But I think Anthony Lear is still in the game, so that is a guy that's going to make this roster. But in any event, I think they're going to play a lot better next week. And you're going to get a better sense of what this team's going to look like come regular season next week, because they may not really game plan next week, but they're going to put a couple of things in that they're trying to get to specifically next week. And so they're already game planning for Philadelphia right now. So tonight, you don't leave the game feeling the way you did against the Ravens last week, but there's still questions. Obviously, we weren't sharp early, so there's that. And as far as Terrell Pryor is concerned, he's just got to get on the same page with Kirk. They're not there yet, and you're missing Jordan Reed. You got to remember how big of a part of our offense Jordan Reed is. With no Deshaun Jackson and no Jordan Reed, nobody scares you out there right now. No one's taking attention away from a guy like Terrell Pryor. He's the focal point of the offense right now. And so we'll see what happens with Terrell Pryor. As the season progresses, I expect him and Kirk Cousins to be on a better page with one another. And I expect them to be better. So we'll see.
Jonathan Allen got a ton of the attention, but where he went to school, where he grew up.
Blackbird Blitz says, nice to see the fam coming together and showing up in preseason. Loving the updated presentation and all the real fans supporting. And I appreciate it too. It was a rough start to the night with the simulcast not going the way that I had intended. I'm going to work on that for next week. But in any event,
This defense has to come up with some type of a stop now. They're running out of time. Of all the timeouts, I believe they have 3.
see, I think the Packers are going to end up running out this clock because they just picked up another first down. Redskins really needed a stop right there. Jonathan Lynch says, who do you think are the starters on offense and defense? After next week's game, I'm going to come out with my projected 53-man roster. And in it this year, I will identify who I think are starters on both sides of the football. So I'll give that to you at that point when I get to it. Sean Mack says, I have Jordan Reed in 4 of my 5 fantasy football teams. Hope he has a great season and stays healthy. I think the latter portion of what you said is the most important part. If he's healthy, he's going to produce for you. Health is always the chief concern when regarding Jordan Reed, and this year's no different. He's already dealing with the toe, and so that's the story on Jordan Reed each and every single year, and this year's no different. So we'll see. And if you are a fan of another team out there watching, I appreciate you subscribing. I saw that you just subscribed, Stacy Starr. If you're out there for another team and you're watching this live feed, just remember, I do every team in the league. I break down every single game. I do live feeds for primetime games. Good breakup. Who's that? Stephen McClure. Good play, boy. I do a live feed for every nationally televised game. And so you're going to see your team here on this channel, whether you're a Redskins fan or not. So be sure to subscribe to the channel for more great NFL content. That is for sure. But 3rd and 7, this is the Redskins' last opportunity to try and win this football game. Looks like we're coming with pressure, and we do. It's picked up and thrown out of bounds. So the Redskins are going to get the football back with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds roughly to try and win this football game. Should be an exciting finish. Protect428 says, I'm going to do a projected 53-man roster as well. Let's see what two great minds think alike. Yep, I'll be anxious to see what you put down and how many differences we have on our rosters. I think I was 3 players off last year. Out of the 53, I think I got 50 out of the 53 correct last year, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look. Amick89 says, I think Josh Doctson is better than Terrell. You can't say that, though. Amick, I know you want to like Josh. You can't say that, though. Terrell Pryor's coming off a 1,000-yard season with the Cleveland Browns. Can you name 3 of his quarterbacks last year? Can you name 2 of them last year? If you can, I'll give you a standing ovation right now. So that tells you that the man went out and balled out in Cleveland. So Josh Doctson has played all of 1 game in the NFL. You can't say that right now. I know Terrell is frustrating you because he hasn't done anything in a Redskin uniform, but you got to give a man a chance. Jonas McConan says, what are your thoughts on the D-line? It's going to be much improved. I can tell you this much. I don't know what kind of pressure we're going to generate on the quarterback. Incomplete pass to start off the possession by Nate Sudfeld, as he was a little errant on the throw to John Pascal. I can tell you this much. The D-line is going to be a lot better. I think that Phil Taylor is going to be an upgrade and an improvement over anything we've had at nose tackle since we've switched to a 3-4 defense. Jonathan Allen is a big upgrade on the defensive line. I think Matt Ioannidis looks outstanding. I thought he had another good game tonight. He's in the best shape. This is better shape than I've seen him in. Take that away. Good job, Robert Davis. The rookie takes the football away from a Packers defender. Strong hands, boy. Because Nate Sudfeld took a shot on that play. Ball came out wobbly, and he had to fight for this one. And he took it away from that Packers defender. Give me those cookies, boy. You don't know what to do with that. Give me that. Way to take it away from him. That's big time. Strong hands. That's what that shows right there. Way to come back for that football. I'm going to come back to that comment we were talking about in a second. Packers come with a blitz. Oh, can I get a penalty for that? I should get 15 for that. Wow. He picked up my man and dumped him. I don't mind him letting him play, but that's normally a penalty right there every day of the week. Regular season, I bet you they throw the flag there. But anyway, I am going to get back to the defensive line talk. I expect Matt Ioannidis to contribute this year. Jiggy Hood is a body to me, but nonetheless, I thought he's effective at times. But I think the addition of Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, Phil Taylor along that defensive front, and then I think a guy like Terrell McClain is also going to play a good grade of football. I actually was impressed with him in Dallas. I think we got the makings. Birdman hand rub. I can't wait to see. Because I think we got the makings of a quality front. And I think we've got some guys that are going to take up some blockers, eat up some space, and allow these linebackers to roam the field and run and make plays. And so that's music to all of our ears as Redskins fans. Blackbird Blitz says, got to co-sign, Lou. He's talking about my channel. He says he supports every team and is unbiased. That said, he's a Redskins fan, and we need to respect that. Join the Louie T Live fam. Good fans that talk football. I appreciate that, man. And that's what it's all about, creating a community here. Because we all love football. It's all going to bring us together. Why not sit here together and chop it up and talk about the game that we all love? I just happen to have a platform that allows us to do it, man. Why not? Sean Mack says, RG3, McCown, Kessler, Hogan. Well, you a Browns fan. I was talking to a Redskins fan. I know you can name them. You live and die. You eat, you sleep, you breathe with that Cleveland Browns football team, as we do as Redskins fans. Of course, you can talk about every single quarterback that suited up for you last year. Hell, you even left out Terrell Pryor, who went and did some Wildcat for you last year. But in any event, Sean Mack says, this is the best YouTube channel, and I'm the best football guy, basically, is what he said. And I appreciate that, man. And you won't ever, well, I'm about to say, you won't ever hear me say that. I'm lying. I'm lying like shit. Because I'll tell you that I'm the best every chance I get. So, but I would prefer, and I always try to let you guys do that, man. I try to stay humble, man. Like a wise man once told me, man, sit down. Be humble. I'm going to do that. Without the bitch part. Little bitch. I'm going to sit down and be humble, though. Protect428 says, hope y'all know I'm going to kill it when we get in the lab room, bros. It's curtains for y'all. LOL. We got a screen set up to Matt Brown that is going to go nowhere. Look at Matt Brown, man. Fight for that first down. This is why this man need more touches, man. I don't like the way they doing Matt Brown. I'm not going to lie to you.
Packers had him sandwiched, and he still winds up picking up the first down. I do want to talk about that. I just don't understand why there wasn't a penalty call.
Redskins going no huddle, trying to hurry up. Nate Sudfeld gets rid of it. A nice throw to Gene Pascal, who also gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Or excuse me, I keep calling this man John Pascal, like the boxer. It's Zach Pascal, man. Great play. Anyway, Protect 428 says, I miss Big Swaggy, bro. This is some bull crap. I don't miss him necessarily. I don't like the way we did him, but I don't think they like how vocal and outspoken he was. I think they felt like he talked too much in the media, and it wasn't always good stuff being said about the organization that was employing him and paying him and signing his checks. So I think they were just tired of his nonsense. Every now and again you get hey, we the best in the NFC after we win a big game, and it's like week 9 and we like in 3rd place in the division, and he talking crazy because we had won the division before. Is that kind of stuff. Him questioning and second guessing the coaching staff. I don't think they like that stuff, and that's ultimately why I think he's not back, because he didn't get paid. Asinine. Got to get rid of the football, Nate. That's not on the offensive line. That's on Nate Sudfeld. He's got to get rid of the football. I think that's because he didn't get paid an inordinate amount of money. The money that Tampa paid him, we could have paid him. Hell, we gave Stacey McGee a 5-year, $30 million, $25 million contract, something like that. Big Swag, we could have paid him.
Let's take a look at the FedEx ground plays of the game.
GD Bent says, record prediction. I am doing record predictions starting next week. I won't get to the NFC East until the 29th of August, but I'm doing 2 divisions a day. We're starting with the AFC East and the NFC South, the 2 teams that represented the Super Bowl. And we'll move on from there as we'll go through the teams that did the best in the league last season. We'll start out with their divisions. Sudfeld had an open carrier over the middle of the field, and he skipped it to him. He had him. Got to make that throw.
Wide open. He looked to the left really quickly and then tried to come back and throw it in the middle, and he was late with the throw. And short.
Protect 428 says, my favorite football YouTube channel. Been sub for 3 years, and I love the knowledge you throw us, and I appreciate you, broski. Hope I get to the 757 so we can collab on something, man. Absolutely.
This is a football game. Jay wants to win.
3rd and 17.
Only need to pick up about half. Don't need it all.
Zach, all right, Matt Brown over the middle is going to get you about 12 on 3rd and 17. So that's going to set up a 4th and 5 situation.
Just over a minute remaining. Trailing the Packers by 4. 13 different Redskins with receptions tonight.
Marlo Glass, I'm sorry. The Simulcast is not up now. I took it down. I was having some issues on Twitter. It didn't go the way that I intended. So back to the drawing board. I'll go back in the lab, make some adjustments to the way that I do it next time. And hopefully I will have the live feed up next week, and it will be clean. So we'll do it that way.
All right, here we go.
Next week.
6 on the clock.
4th down and 4, guys. This is for the ball game. Redskins just used their last time out. First down. He didn't catch it. And the Packers are going to come away with the victory. James Quick had an opportunity to come down with the catch on 4th and 4. Good throw by Nate Sudfeld. I'm going to tell you what, because of the bobble, I don't know if he would have had the first down anyway. If he would have caught it initially, cleanly, forward progress, he would have had the first down, but he bobbles it. Watch him bobble. I think that bobble would have took away the first down anyway, but he ain't making the goddamn team no way. So in any event, Redskins are going to drop their second straight preseason game as if we give a damn. 21-17. Much better showing by the team. Obviously, when you only scored 3 points in a preseason game, there's not really a lot to take away from it positively. But you score 17 this week. You look a lot better in the second quarter and a little bit into the third. And so there's some good takeaways from this game. Still a lot of questions left unanswered as we leave the game. First team offense still didn't look as sharp as you would like. But again, no Jordan Reed. It is what it is. I'm more disappointed with the red zone execution. You know, we had an opportunity. Special teams was outstanding in this game, especially Fabian Moreau, who I thought played well on defense as well. So there's some good takeaways from this game. SOL's Nation says, I'd watch this over First Take and Undisputed any day, man. I appreciate that. I hate those two shows, by the way. I don't watch them, so I can't really say much about them. Amic89 says, I think the Eagles going to be the toughest team in the division this year. That may be the case. The Eagles, they're a young team, and they're on the rise. I actually like their head coach, Doug Peterson. I think he's a hell of a offensive mind, and I think the Eagles could be dangerous this year. And I'm fully expecting a serious gut punch from the Eagles in week 1. And if we're not prepared, they will beat us in week 1. So we will see. But that was fun, guys. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys joining me as the Redskins fall in preseason game number 2, 21-17. I, of course, will have a Redskins video for you later on in the week as we'll talk about this game, kind of put a bow on it, and move on to the dress rehearsal next week versus the Cincinnati Bengals, which we all know is the most important preseason game. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. And we're going to simulcast, and I promise you, it will be a better product next time than it was this time. Mark my words. But until then, I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and golden. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. This has been a great live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Very successful. Saw some good things. Saw some things we didn't like. But all in all, we came out healthy. That's the most important thing. I'm now going to make my way over to ESPN where there's boxing waiting on my ass that I can't wait to watch. Bart Scott. Can't wait. But until next time, I'm your man Louie T, signing off. You guys have a beautiful rest of the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.